And they overcame by the blood of the Lamb and the words of their testimony. Hi, my name is Blake, and this is my testimony. Ever since I was born, church was what I knew. I'm the grandson of a pastor, so I was baptized and saved at an early age of 5 years old. Despite what I had said to my mom when I was that age about how I wanted to give my life to Christ, at 5 years old, I never knew what that sentence truly meant. I grew up in a family that I thought was normal. My parents' marriage had failed when I was born, and I didn't even know it. They had tried to restore it over the years, but eventually I'd called it quits completely when I was just 10 years old. My mom, during the early parts of my parents' marriage, was in severe depression, anxiety, and horrible health conditions. With her marriage falling apart and her health not looking any better, after many strenuous doctor visits, she had started the deconstruction of her faith. When I was about 6 years old, my mom had stopped going to church completely. My dad, on the other hand, was lost in his own depression. I obviously wasn't aware at the time, but before I was born, my dad had lost all of his family due to a disagreement amongst his family and him. His family turned their backs on him and our family. So during my mom's health crisis, my dad would do the following: wake up, go to work, come home, eat, sleep, and then repeat day after day. He did that for many years in my life. Like, he was present in my life, but he wasn't present. The one thing that he always did for me and my brother was take us to church every Sunday. I never missed one. Looking back now, I think that my dad went to church to try and fill a void that couldn't be filled. He lost a little piece of himself when he lost his family. And by age 10, we had moved to this ghetto apartment complex in Monroe. My parents had told me for the first time that they are no longer together, but they choose to live together, so I had both parents in the house. Yet because they chose to live together, I grew up around constant arguing and yelling. My home turned from being a place of peace to a place of toxicity that I desperately wanted to leave. At age 14, I went to a public school just down the road for the first time. I made lots of friends very quickly, became extremely popular, and it was all because I had become friends with this girl who had so much influence. We became best friends really quickly, spending lots of time together. And then 1 year later, I show up to school and had found out that she spread a rumor about me to the whole school. I lost everything and everyone. I had people threatening me in the halls at school. I had an upperclassman put me in a chokehold till someone saw him and told him to stop. This one girl single-handedly destroyed my reputation. The rumor gained so much popularity that the school office had to call my mom and let her know about the rumor. I told her that was false, and so she withdrew me from that school. And this was the first time that I ever experienced deep depression, because I had no friends. I had nobody. 2 months later, I met up with a girl to hook up, but we didn't have sex. We just did everything but. We had planned it way beforehand and everything, but then 2 months after that, she accused me of raping her. All of a sudden, my reputation went from bad to horrible in a span of 4 months. When I had found out this information, it was because one of my old friends had told me to turn myself in. She said that if I didn't, I'm just like her father who had raped her and fled from the cops. I was getting death threats left and right. People sending me my address saying that they would come and beat me up, and so much more. On top of my reputation getting worse, a part of my extended family got into an argument around Thanksgiving Day and decided to cut off all contact with us completely. And towards the end of the year, my dad had moved out. I was at the lowest point in my life that I've ever been in, and that was the year 2019. Starting the new year, I decided to stop feeling sorry for myself and work hard on who I'm trying to become. I associated myself with people on my street who were above the law, who would protect me from all threats. I trained on how to street fight. I was intentional about being in shape and fit because I was afraid. During this time, COVID had just entered the US. I didn't care much for it. In fact, I was happy in a way because we were all told to stay in our homes. So I knew no one could get to me. Jump way ahead in the summer of 2020, I moved out of my hellhole to a small town called Chelan. There, I began to let my guard down because no one knew who I was. I could be whoever I wanted to be. I ended up going to Manson High School, and I loved it. I made friends there very fast and felt at ease. In 2021, I attended an Easter service at a church called Real Life. Going back to church was interesting to me because I wasn't deep in my faith, maybe occasionally prayed, but that's just the gist of it. I was still focused on myself, but I enjoyed church. I eventually got involved on the tech team by running soundboard and live stream. And since music has always been a passion of mine, running the soundboard was a joy. From the time I lost everything to the time I was running the soundboard at my church, there was one thing that helped me get through it, and that was music. I sang and played my guitar for years as a coping mechanism to escape the world. I wrote down my feelings, made it rhyme, added a melody to it, and turned it into a song. It became something I did in private on the side. Towards the end of 2020, I posted a few covers on YouTube just for fun. I found out that the worship team at Real Life, which was the church I was serving at the time, had listened to my YouTube and asked if I wanted to join the worship team. I quickly said yes and got involved. Little did I know that God was stirring a passion for worship in my heart. My time serving on the worship team drew me closer and closer to God. And then in 2023, after graduating high school, I got the taste of freedom. I decided to live a little by getting drunk, smoking weed, having one-night stands all the time. During this little adventure of mine, I was asking the Lord if what I was doing was wrong. I felt no conviction of what I was doing, which is why I was confused, because I was told my entire life that all of these things were wrong, but felt no conviction. It put a pressure on me that was so heavy. And right before I was about to leave for college, I showed up to this young adult night that I've been leading worship for all summer long. We had just finished worship in the lesson, and now there was downtime. This man approached me, who I've never seen before in my life. He introduced himself to me and said, "Hey man, the moment you walked in, I sensed a big weight on your shoulders." When he said this, I freaked out and laughed, and I was confused. How could he know exactly what I was going through? I asked if we could talk, and I told him that I was wrestling with an action that I'm doing, and I'm not sure if it was sin. Without telling him what specifically I was doing, he pointed me to Galatians 5:21, that mentions a list of the fruits of the flesh, which are sin. He read my sin to me right there. I thanked him and left convicted. Later that night, I went home, I grabbed my guitar, I drove to my quiet place, and played the song, "Oh Come to the Altar." I don't think I even sang a single word because I was crying the whole time. And after that, I asked the Lord to break me down and build me back up. And that's exactly what he did. That day is when I found out the true meaning of what giving my life to Christ actually looks like. From that day, I saw the Lord in everything. I worshiped like the Lord was in the room with me. I read the Bible like I was hungry, and I sought out godly friendships. I don't think this is my complete testimony. I think mine is still being written. The Lord's always shaping me and molding me into the man that he wants me to be. I thank Jesus for his grace and his blood that has covered my sin. If there's anything I can leave you with, it's this. My life is proof that his love is always chasing after me.